Hey everyone, and welcome to another ColDesi Daily. This is Mark Stevenson from ColDesi. And what I wanted to do is kind of elaborate on this podcast that we did, episode 119. If you're not listening already to the CIS podcast, highly encourage you to do that. These podcasts are about an hour each, and you can see, I think we're on number 122. So that's a lot of free content on marketing and sales advice and running a custom t-shirt business. You should definitely check it out. But episode 119 was really popular. It was how to pick the perfect CRM. So I thought that I would walk you through this new CRM that I found that's in addition to these others that we mentioned in the podcast. What a CRM is a way to keep track of your customers. And that's what it does at its most fundamental level. But here is why I think it's so important, even though it's easy to say that it helps you keep track of your customers. I'd like to kind of convince you of what it can mean to your business real quick, and then I'm going to get on to demonstrating this new CRM. So what it means to your business is this. I guarantee that if you are using your email to manage your customers, that you spend a lot of time every day looking for emails from customers that have requests for quote. You're replying with prices for different jobs that you're not keeping track of, or maybe you have a legal pad next to the phone, and in combination with your Gmail account or your Office 365 account and that pad, that's how you're organizing your customers in your financial life. And if you miss a deadline, if you don't reply to a request for quote, if you misquote somebody, if you miss a conversation that you had, if you're not following up, most importantly, on customers, on potential customers, then you are leaving tons of money on the table. Think about the last time you went to a market, or if you do Chamber of Commerce meetings, things like that. You know, you have this stack of business cards or names and numbers, and you stick them in a desk drawer. You leave them on your table, and that's the only place that they live. You never send that follow-up email or place that follow-up phone call, and you're leaving potential business out in the wind. So CRM is going to help you solve those problems if you use it. And I found this new cool one called Begin from Zoho that I really like, so I thought I would share it with you. You've got a 15-day free trial of it, and if you like it, it's like $9 a month. So I was going to concentrate on the free ones, but I figured if you're in business, you can afford the $9 a month, so you might want to take a look at this one. You will find common elements. These elements are going to be in every CRM, from Salesforce to HubSpot to Zoho's full CRM package to Pipeline. There's a bunch of them. They will all have contacts, and this is where you are going to actually add people in to your list. They will all have deals section, or most of them will have a deals section where you get to organize your quotes. And this, I think, is going to be a key for you guys to keep track of your business, because that's what happens is you do a quote and you forget to follow up, or you're looking for the paperwork or the note that you made or the email that you sent. This will actually allow you to keep track of how many deals you have out there in the universe, how much potential money you can make, and it will motivate you to get on the phone, close some business. So there's deals, there's contacts. I like companies if you are a bigger organization dealing with bigger organizations. So for example, if the local university is a client of yours, as well as each one of the departments, then you might have a company file, which is just the university name, and then you'll have individual contacts that are part of that, and that's very useful. If you are going to do the quotes inside your CRM, if right now you're using a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet, or you're not using a real t-shirt company or embroidery company CRM, then you might add products in here and create repeat products that you can just add to proposals quickly to get them out faster. There are also activities, and if you look up when I choose activities, if you look up here, you'll see I can set up tasks, follow-up tasks. I can set up events, which are meetings, or I can set up phone calls. Super important for keeping track of your customers. And then if you do it all right, if you're using each one of these every day with all of your customers, then this dashboard will give you some amazingly powerful information. For example, you'll see whether or not you are creating new contacts every month. You'll see how many deals you won. This is probably the most useful tab, most useful part of the dashboard is how many deals have you lost? So right now you may not know how many quotes you did last month, and you know the ones that you won because you got the order, but how about the ones that you lost that you never followed up on? If you keep track of it properly, this is going to tell you who your real competition is and how much money you're leaving on the table by not making a move to adjust your business to gain that extra few dollars a month. I'm just going to walk you through a few things, and that is the basics of creating a contact. I'm just going to hit add contact, and we're going to say Bob Smith, owner, Bob at bobsalon.com. Company name, Bob Salon. Mobile phone, and description. I met Bob at a network event for the city. Okay, and I can add address information if I want to, mailing stuff. I can also add some custom fields in here if I want to. But here is the basics of your contact. This should be all the information that you're looking for. Where I met them, the last thing we talked about, email address, phone number, etc. I'm going to hit save. Okay, and here's Bob. And this is really the place that convinced me to talk to you guys about this big in software over the full version of Zoho or any of the others. And that's when you open up this contact, you see a timeline. So when I look up Bob from now on, I'm going to see everything that's happened. And what's going to be in here is that one time when I sent them an email, when I sent them a quote, and I'll be able to double click on these and see what the content of those are. Now, if you look up here, I've got timeline. I can also put in notes. So I want to have this note that is about colors. Hates blue. You know, has 3 kids, whatever that is. If I go back to timeline, you can see that I added a note. Here's activities. I just got off the phone with Bob, so what I want to do, I want to make sure that I create a quote for him for next week. New quote for Bob. It's due May 6th. It's the first time I'm going to have a reminder on that same day at 8 a.m. A description. Don't forget to include custom caps. Mark is a high priority. So now look, now I have just come back from a networking event. I've entered in Bob's information into the system. I added a note about Bob hates blue, and I've scheduled a follow-up quote right here. And you can see it all on the timeline. So I've got notes, I've got activities. I can send Bob an email if I want to. There aren't any emails to show right now, but I can actually hook in my Gmail account or my Office 365 email account right here, and then I can send Bob an email. I can hook up social media profiles. So if I can do, hook them up to Twitter. If I've got any deals pending, so if I do a quote for Bob, then I've got all that information right here and what the status is. And then if Bob sends me any t-shirt graphics or a brochure that he wants, if I'm doing promotional products and he sends me some picture examples of the stuff that he likes, I can actually just upload them here and it's right in his file. This is everything that you need to know about this contact, about the company he works for. You can create the products for quotes, all of the activities that you can schedule. I can walk in the morning and just see here are all of my tasks. I've got a new quote for Bob due at this particular time. So this is the kind of thing that that a CRM should excel at and does. It will help you keep track of your customers. It'll help you keep track of quotes. All of your emails will be in the same place. You'll be able to track deals from one stage to another. This is just a quick introduction of what a CRM can do for you. Imagine when you come in every day, if all you had to do to know what you had to accomplish was go to your activities tab, and you can see the date due for everything that you've got on the plate. Imagine if you wanted to find a particular contact, you just had to type in his name and the contact would pop up, and there would be all the notes and activities and emails. Imagine if you could track all of the deals, all of the jobs that you have pending just in one place, and it was all just sitting here waiting for you every morning. So that is not just a picture or a little video of a sample CRM, but it's my sales pitch for using one. So if it's not this one, that's fine. There are a bunch of others that you can choose from, but I like Biggin so far, and if you're looking for one right now, it might be a good choice.